Hey there folks, we've done the Coronation quiche. The Coronation is fast approaching and obviously we can't really go without the classic Coronation chicken. Today we're going to do my spin on Coronation chicken, which is the classic. I'm going to try it, I'm probably going to butcher it. Poulet Reine Elizabeth. It was invented for the coronation of Queen Elizabeth back in 1953. So it's kind of an austerity dish. So it's a curried mayonnaise with chicken. Back then, spices and basically everything else, it wasn't long after the Second World War, so things were kind of in short supply, so they did what they could with what they had, and to be fair, they did a decent job. The original recipe was pretty good. It's been kind of butchered over the years. So I mean, things like sultanas, we're not putting sultanas in today. If you want to put sultanas in it, go for it. But I'm using apricots. So we've got some apricots, dried apricots, which were in the original dish. We're going to make a mayonnaise. Instead of boiling a whole chicken, which would be kind of traditional, or just using breasts, I'm going to roast off some thighs, which are basically bulletproof. So these will stay nice and juicy. We'll roast them off with a few spices, and then we'll make that mayonnaise and we'll bring it all together for a great little dish you can serve at your Coronation big lunch if you're doing that, or just whatever you are doing, you can serve it then. Or you can just watch the video and think, I'm not making that. It's not too much work. We can get this done in probably about the time it takes the chicken to cook. Maybe another 10 minutes to actually put the thing together, let it cool and stuff. Making your own mayonnaise, it's a great skill to have. It's a lot of fun, and it's so much better than the store-bought stuff. So with all that said, let's dive in. So to get started, we'll do the chicken first, because that needs to go in the oven, and obviously then needs to cool, so we might as well get this going. So for that, I will preheat the oven on fan to 180 with just some normal high smoke point neutral oil. You can use sunflower, whatever you've got really. And this is some rapeseed. This is rapeseed. Again, sunflower, whatever you've got. And then for my chicken, so I don't want to go too mad with the spices on this. I want it to be kind of lightly spiced. I want it to have a little bit of something, some depth of flavour there at the bottom of the flavour story, but I don't want it to overpower that final sort of mild curry flavour in the mayo, and it's got to work with the fruits as well. So I'm just going to, first of all, pretty standard, hit it with some salt. Be generous. Again, we've got quite a bit of meat. So I've just got four thighs today. A little bit of paprika. I do love paprika, but again, we don't want too much because we don't want to go crazy with the flavour. A little bit of garlic powder. Be careful again with this, because if you're not careful, this does have a tendency to burn and turn bitter. And then I'll just back up that salt that I've added with a very small amount of onion salt. Cool. If you're making sort of tacos, this is a great base for that as well, and there's a great way to cook your chicken for that. Add some cumin and obviously some chili powder if you want to, and this makes a fantastic base for pulled chicken tacos. Massive hit in my house every time I do them. So I'm just going to basically move these around, spread them out in this dish, and make sure that all of the little nooks and crannies have got that spice, because we really want that flavour to cook through. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be absolutely delicious with just a little bit of extra zhuzhing it up. Is that a word? Zhuzh? If it's not, I'm using it anyway. I'm sticking with it. I'm doubling down on zhuzhing. So yeah, just working all those spices in, making sure all of those little nooks and crannies are covered. And then what I'll do, I'll just spread these out so they're fairly even. Want these cooked quite quickly. So if we unroll the chicken breast like this, they will cook nice and quickly. It's just a nice light spice that will give us a great base for that Coronation chicken. It's going to be amazing once it hits that mayo, and we mix in that curry flavour as well. It's going to be fantastic, and we'll toast off that curry with some almonds and stuff. It's going to be great. This needs to go in the oven. It's not preheated yet. Obviously, I need to wait for it to preheat. Preheated oven, 180, 20 to 25 minutes, and this will be perfect. And then we'll just pull it out, let it cool. And in the meantime, we'll make that mayo. So let's get on with that. Pretty simple. It's kind of a Japanese style mayo. It's a little bit like Kewpie mayo if you're familiar with that. So I'm only using the yolks. I'm not doing whole egg mayo, which is like the stuff you buy in the store. Obviously the first thing to do is to separate a couple of eggs, which is easily done. Did that into the wrong bowl. That's a good start, isn't it? Oh dear. Never mind. Never mind. Just separate these as you normally would. Make sure you get as much of that white out as you can. And then if you're like me and you start in the wrong bowl, just get rid of that. Got the right bowl this time, hooray! I'm such an idiot. This is what happens when I don't script, when I don't plan. This is a kind of an unplanned video in case you can't tell. And yeah, this is the way that usually goes. So there we go, that's my yolks. For the whites, I'd save those for something else. Don't know what yet. Some meringue or something. A souffle. I'm not making a souffle. So rice vinegar, MSG. I'm not opening the big bag yet. I've still got this small one to use. And I am going to put a little bit of mustard in this to get started. Half a teaspoon MSG. If you've not got any MSG, you can leave this out if you're worried about MSG. There's not really much need to be in my opinion, but hey, to each their own. If you want to leave this out, that's cool. Half a teaspoon MSG. I will leave a link in the description to Amazon where you can easily get it, because I know it's kind of hard to get here in the UK. Rice vinegar. If you don't have this, happy days, no problem. You can use cider vinegar. So I want about 2.5 tablespoons of this. Just get a little bit of this mustard. This is just Dijon mustard. You don't need much, you only want a little bit. You can use English mustard if you want, you could use mustard powder, that works. Experiment with what you like basically. And I'm just going to add a little bit of garlic powder in here just to sort of lift things up a little bit. It's kind of clumpy. Probably should open a new one, but it's fine. We're going to get the thing on this anyway. And I'm using rapeseed oil today. Sunflower works great. Vegetable oil, kind of traditional. I have this, so this is what I'm using. And for that I want about 250 millilitres. It's easiest to put this into a jug because that makes it easier to sort of pour in. Pouring it in, you want to go at a certain speed. You don't want to go too fast or it'll break. You don't want to go too slow or it'll sort of thicken up too much and kind of curdle. So that is about 250 millilitres. You can use an immersion blender for this as well. That works great. But ideally you want sort of a narrower, taller vessel. Makes it easier to keep everything moving under the blender. If you don't have that, using a bowl like I am, I like to use my... What is this thing called? Whisk? Power whisk? Whisk drill? Whisk drill. I don't know what this thing's called, that's crazy. I use it, whatever. Anyway, it doesn't matter. This thing, you can use this thing. But this is going to get kind of noisy, so just, you know, gently drizzle. I'm going to go with a little more oil. So that was maybe another 100 mils. Yeah, that's looking better. Just a touch of salt. And I'm using the crystal salt here because I don't want it to sort of blend in completely. I want to leave little pops of saltiness. It's just going to be fantastic. I'm going to pop this in the fridge, just chill out until we're ready for it. Spices. Let's toast some curry powder. So I'm using this curry powder today. Bought mild curry powder. It's great stuff. You do kind of want mild for this. You can go with something a bit hotter if you want. Curry powder's kind of gone a little bit by the wayside. We tend to make our own sort of garam masalas and stuff these days. But for this dish, it's kind of classic to just stick with the curry powder. So this is the curry powder. Mildly spiced for mellow moments. I say. Now this is not going to take long at all. I'm going to get the almonds in first because I want to toast those off. They will take a little bit longer. So I'm just going to, this is a 250 gram bag. I like almonds, so maybe a quarter of the bag. Just make sure they're nicely distributed in that pan, which is rather hot now. Don't let them burn. I'm going to go in 2 teaspoons of that curry powder. I'm just going to keep everything moving around just to stop anything burning. It's smelling perfect. And that is done. Get the mayo, make sure we get all of that curry powder, stir those through. It's really starting to build that colour that we're looking for, and the flavour is just going to be immense. It's going to be awesome. Dried apricots, totally use sultanas for this. That's become the norm a bit lately, since the 70s, I guess. But originally this was apricots. So you don't want to go too far with the apricots. You don't want this to be a sweet dish. You want it to have sort of pops of sweetness. So let's move a few of those over there, and we'll just roughly chop these up. And I like to chop them sort of quite fine. Just again, so we get those sort of pops of sweetness. I'm not going to mince them. I'm not going super fine with them, because I do still want them to be distinct bits of flavour within the mayo. Stir them through. Final touch for our mayo, a handful of coriander. So normally the stalks are fine with this, but that one is a bit of a beast. So we'll get rid of that one. That'll be a bit much. So all I'll do, I'll just bunch this up and then just hammer through it. And if you can't get chopped for whatever reason, if you can't get fresh coriander for whatever reason, you can use dried coriander for this. I imagine that may well be what was sort of the original recipe, although it was kind of a bit of a posh recipe for a majesty unit. They probably did have, probably got fresh coriander from, I don't know, somewhere, Kew Gardens maybe. I don't even know. We just got some chopped coriander, boom, in it goes. Coriander's not really my thing, so I'm in that weird segment of the population for whom coriander tends to taste a bit like soap. It is what it is, but still, it does work in here, and hopefully it won't be too soapy. But obviously if you're not weird like me, then you'll probably be fine. That is perfect. That is going to be amazing with that chicken. So again, I'll just pop this back in the fridge, and we'll wait for the chicken to be done. So the chicken's been in for about 20 minutes. It should be done. Oh yeah, perfect. That's done. That's looking great. I'm gonna let this cool because I don't want to put really hot chicken into the cold mayo. The usual rules apply for whether this is done or not. So juice is running clear. You can temperature probe it if you want. You want it to be sort of at least 75-ish C, probably towards 80. With it being thigh, it won't dry out. So I'm just going to baste it with some of its own juices, so while it's sitting and cooling, it'll just sort of reabsorb some of those a little bit. That'd be fantastic. And obviously some of those wonderful spices are in here as well. We'll just let that sit, cool, mix it with our mayo. Okay, so this is now completely cooled, or almost completely cooled. It's cool enough. Let's chop it up and get it mixed in. You could go with pulling it if you want to, but I'm just going to mow through it with a knife just to chop it up and get it ready nice and quick. So let's get another board. And I'll literally just chop it into nice bite-sized pieces. And as you can see, this is still really nice and juicy, really tender. It's going to be fantastic in that lovely mayo. Again, you can use breasts for this if you want to. Just be a bit more careful cooking them. If you were doing breasts, I'd probably poach them. It's much easier to not dry them out quite so much when you do that, or even do the whole chicken. If you do that, do use the thighs because there's so much flavour in these. It's immense. It's really great. And that roasted exterior as well, that really helps with the flavour. It really builds the flavour of the dish. You obviously wouldn't get that if you poach the chicken, which is another reason that I just love thighs for this. So what I'll do just before I mix this in is I'll pop this back in its juices, because we don't want to waste those. Literally just make sure this is thoroughly coated in all that resting juice and those spices that we popped in. Just give it a real toss around to coat, and that is looking fantastic. So let's grab that mayo, all of that chicken in. Make sure you get all of those bits, all of that flavour. Just honestly, it smells amazing. Final touch, a little bit of natural yogurt. You can use creme fraiche. Traditionally, I think this would be whipped cream. For me, creme fraiche works great. Natural yogurt, damn it. Natural yogurt also fantastic. You don't need a lot. We'll start with a couple of dessert spoons, and we'll just cut that in with the chicken. We'll see how that looks, and we can adjust from there. Just folding that together. Just a spot more. One more spoon. Spoon and a half. Live a little. And just fold everything through. Look at that. I mean, that is just incredible. That is absolutely fantastic. Bags and bags of flavour there. It's amazing. It's a bit of a jaded dish. It's a bit of a sort of old hat type thing, but it really is worth making if you're having a party for the coronation, or really for any occasion. Let's bring this back, you know, let's revive the 70s a little bit. Go back to the 50s even. Let's bring this back. Let's give this another shot. It's really worth it. So there we go, folks. Coronation chicken. Probably wouldn't generally serve a salad with it, but I've got to do a thumbnail, so, you know. So there you go, folks. Coronation chicken, absolutely delicious. Just give it a go. Give this a try. If you found this video helpful, give it a like. Subscribe if you're not already. And if you want to make the coronation quiche, which, come on, let's face it, you do, check out this video next.